Welcome back to Dr. Ryan, the channel where we break down health and nutrition into clear, practical strategies you can actually use. Today, we're diving into a topic that so many people struggle with: how to burn belly fat in a way that's simple, sustainable, and rooted in how your metabolism truly works. Most people overcomplicate weight loss. They get lost in charts, macros, formulas, apps, and conflicting advice. What I want to do today is strip all of that noise away and guide you through an approach that works with your body, not against it. Belly fat is stubborn because it's closely tied to your hormones, especially insulin. If you can lower insulin, your body becomes far more efficient at tapping into stored fat. That's really the heart of this process. You're not trying to starve yourself or work out endlessly. You're trying to shift your metabolism into a state where burning fat becomes the default rather than the exception. And for most people, the easiest and most reliable pathway into that process is combining a low-carb lifestyle with intermittent fasting. When people begin this journey, one of the first challenges they face is the fear of hunger. They assume that eating less automatically means suffering through cravings, fatigue, and irritability. But this happens only when insulin is high. When insulin drops, appetite naturally fades. You stop thinking about food all day. Your energy becomes stable and your body finally gets the chance to burn the fat it has been holding onto for years. But getting into that state requires a smart strategy, especially in the early days when your metabolism is still adapting. One of the biggest mistakes people make is obsessively counting carbohydrates. They track every gram and drive themselves crazy over tiny variations. Instead of putting pressure on yourself, a much simpler solution is to prioritize foods that barely affect insulin, things like leafy greens and large salads. These vegetables are rich in potassium, magnesium, vitamin C, and phytonutrients, which support your electrolytes, reduce cravings, and prevent the fatigue or cramping many people feel when starting a low-carb lifestyle. Eating a big salad before your main meal can stabilize your hunger, prevent overeating, and keep your blood sugar steady. Many people find that when they eat their salad first, they naturally consume just the right amount of protein and fat afterward. And if you struggle to eat a large salad, chopping it finely or adding a low-carb dressing can make it much more enjoyable. Protein is another area where people often get confused. Too much protein can slow your progress, but too little leaves you tired. Easiest way to measure your portion is simply by using the size of your palm. For someone younger or larger, that portion may be bigger. For someone older with a slower metabolism, it may be smaller. The key is choosing protein sources that include healthy fats naturally: fatty ground beef, salmon, sardines, dark meat chicken with the skin, and full-fat pork. Cuts all digest more slowly, help you feel satisfied, lean, and produce a lower insulin response than lean proteins such as skinless chicken breasts, whitefish, or whey protein shakes. Fat and protein belong together. Nature designed them that way. Fat plays a unique role in helping your body transition into fat-burning mode. In the early stages, adding healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, or McT oil can help eliminate hunger and make fasting much easier. The goal isn't to drown your food in fat. The goal is simply to add enough so you can go longer between meals without feeling deprived. The real metabolic magic happens once you start combining lower carbs with intermittent fasting. You're not aiming to lose weight through calorie reduction. You're aiming to lower insulin enough that fat burning becomes continuous. Intermittent fasting amplifies that effect dramatically. Most people do best starting with 2 meals a day, spaced roughly 6 hours apart, maybe one meal around noon and one around 6. As your appetite fades, you'll notice that you can comfortably delay or skip your first meal without force or willpower. When that happens naturally, you're entering deeper levels of ketosis. And when you reach the point where you go most of the day without feeling hungry, that's when you know your body has truly switched from sugar burning to fat burning. One of the most important principles in this entire process is so simple, yet most people ignore it. Do not eat if you're not hungry. It sounds obvious, but people sabotage themselves because they're used to eating out of routine, not hunger. Every time you eat, even if the food is low carb, insulin rises. And when insulin rises, fat burning pauses. So if you are finally in a groove where your appetite is gone and you're burning your own fat effortlessly, eating when you're not hungry stops that process. Many people plateau for this reason alone. As your metabolism shifts and your hunger decreases, you no longer need to add extra fat to meals. At this stage, eating fat from natural protein sources is enough. If you keep pouring oil onto your food, your body will burn that dietary fat instead of burning your belly fat. So think of fat as a tool. You use more at the beginning to cut cravings, then gradually reduce it once your body is burning stored fat efficiently. Another critical part of this lifestyle is avoiding nutrient deficiencies. When you reduce meals from 3 per Dalton Y to 2 or even 1, you must make sure you're still supplying your body with essential vitamins and minerals. Electrolytes, B vitamins, trace minerals, and high-quality sea salt become extremely important because your body uses these nutrients to support fat metabolism, stabilize blood sugar, and keep your nervous system functioning well. Without them, you may feel weak or dizzy, not because fasting is harmful, but because your electrolyte balance is off. Leafy greens provide many of these minerals, but adding sea salt, nutritional yeast, or electrolyte blends can make a big difference. Now, one of the most overlooked parts of any lifestyle change is sustainability. If something feels like punishment, you won't do it long term. That's why allowing yourself enjoyable low-carb treats, such as a small portion of sugar-free chocolate after a meal or an occasional keto dessert, can help maintain consistency without derailing progress. The point isn't perfection. The point is sustainability. Once you understand these principles, the whole process becomes simple. Lower insulin, reduce meal frequency, balance your nutrients, and let your body adapt at its own pace. If something is working, don't change it. Many people sabotage themselves because they achieve great results, then start altering things out of boredom or curiosity. On the flip side, if you're not seeing progress, that's when you adjust. The most important takeaway is that you don't lose weight to get healthy. You get healthy first, and the weight comes off naturally as a result. Once your hormones are balanced and your metabolism is functioning the way it was designed to, belly fat no longer stands a chance. If you found this breakdown helpful and want more science-based strategies to support your metabolism and lifelong health, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Ryan, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for the next video. I am here to help you simplify your journey, understand your body, and take control of your health in a way that truly lasts.